Yo, what is going on, IG? We are back with another video. In this video, what I want to talk about is why you should just be taking advantage of the time you have in front of you. Because, honestly, thinking back on it, I always look forward to just leveling up in every area of my life. And each time in the past where I'm just doing activities, that aren't in the betterment of my own life is really what I look back and regret on. So, just go all in on getting better because it's truly a good feeling, and I think it's easy to be motivated to when you're self internally motivated from putting in the input, and especially if maybe certain things with output you want to improve, or maybe you're not living up to your best expectation, your fullest potential, is going to be challenging to just look back on that time and be proud of yourself because each time in my life where I've gone through difficult circumstances and I've just put in the work, like I don't feel like dieting, I don't feel like training hard, I don't feel like eating properly, exercising, rating, like staying locked in with my faith, reading my Bible, like things like that. Every time that I'm not doing those sort of things that I know I should be doing, especially for a consistent period of time, I just look back and I'm like, what am I doing with my life, bro? Like, I'm truly so blessed to be here in the position I'm in. And I have a lot of opportunities that, I wished for when I was younger, and not everybody has. And so I think it's important that you take advantage of everything that you can when it comes to leveling up, like self development, like being a man for your family, your friends, yourself, and being a man of God, like doing these things that you don't want to do, but you should deep down. Um, that's, I think, what life is about. Because when you look back on it, bro, in 30, 40, 50, 60 years, 70 years, you know, if you look back and you're like, I could have taken advantage of that time and done so much more with my life, that is not the feeling that I personally want to have. I'm sure you guys watching don't either. So, like, it's never too late. Like, just keep putting in work because I think like we get caught up in times, with busy things going on in life, like stress, hardship, and we drift away from what our true purpose is. But one thing I just continue to drill into my mind or remind myself is without having a definite purpose in life with what I'm supposed to do and what I want to do, my passions and my skill sets, and overall just having a direction. Without all of that, bro, like I'm not going to be enjoying life and I'm going to be stressed, unhappy, and so it's like, wouldn't you rather work towards seeing what you can accomplish and create with your own life, instead of just looking back one day with regret? I don't know. That's just me personally, um, but it's such an internally motivated. When you can, you know, um, create internal motivation within yourself, it's such a good feeling because it's not like I've gotten myself motivated in the past from like things I was mad about, things I was sad about. On the flip side, sometimes I've motivated myself with like trying to do it for external validation or just to like feel like I'm my best self. But honestly, what it really is at the end of the day, it's just the leveling up of your character and like who you are truly as a person. And when you just notice that like you feel um, like you're living up to that, that's truly what it is at the end of the day. So stay locked in, bro. Like go to the gym, train hard. Like I've gone through such different periods in my life where like I'm locked in on habits and I'm super dialed to a T. And then there's like certain periods of time where I'm like, you know what? Um, I'm just gonna kind of enjoy life and socialize. And the next thing you know, like eating out the best turns into like a more consistent routine. Um, I remember in the past there were times where like I didn't want to do consistent cardio, so I just like stopped doing it for a while. And those are things that there's somebody that I'm listening to that was talking about like, um, those negative habits, like you do them one time, two times, three times. It's one of those things where it's not going to show up. You're not going to see like any difference, right? Like you don't do work, you don't follow through with what you need to do, you don't train harder, you right for a couple of days, like you don't see any noticeable differences. But come 3, 6, 12 months down the line, you're going to be a completely different person. And on the flip side, it's the same thing with the positive habits, right? So if you can just do those things, like you're going to be in such, further ahead territory than where you would be, right? So like stop making excuses and just, I mean, you can really do what you want, but like with internal motivation, the reason I think it's so helpful is it's just a different feeling. Is because when you know that like, okay, I can eat these foods or I can eat these foods, I can either be a little bit meticulous about my nutrition or I can just kind of live a life and complain because it's hard, it doesn't taste good in the moment. I heard this quote from this book I read, I think it was last week, and it's been like stuck in my head. It says like everything that feels good now doesn't feel good later, and you're always going to regret. And like vice versa, everything that you're doing that doesn't feel good now is going to feel good in the long term. So it's always this dichotomy, like back and forth, right? So I mean, depending on which decision you make right now, you can either choose like to make the uncomfortable one that's not super easy, but it will get better and you'll adapt to it and it won't be as painful and it will be more enjoyable in the future and it will be stronger and better. Um, but the benefit is in the long term, it's going to be a reward, or you can go for the pleasure of just kind of relaxing, doing the thing that feels better, easier now, but that's going to just take you one step back. So for me, when I'm taking these sorts of actions, like doing 15, 20,000 steps a day, like training, eating foods that in the past I used to label as like those are gross foods. Like today, I literally ate sardines, onions, just like all organic foods. Um, what else even did I have? Like a smoothie, eggs, and like I had salad and pasta. Um, for dinner. So it's just kind of like locked in, like nothing like bro, nothing too crazy. Like 3,000 calories, probably like 180, 190 grams of protein. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, not too many carbs, just higher fat. And I feel so good. Like I'm so locked in because of what I ate today. I was super well hydrated, and I'm about to finish up my steps. I'm gonna walk another like 5 to 8,000. But so far I already have like 14,000 steps on the day. And so, like this sort of stuff, like you just go to bed at night feeling like a better person. Like I think I read like 60 pages yesterday of this book, and then today I read like two more chapters, and I'll probably read another before bed. When you're like taking consistent action, like it's such a good feeling because you're like, damn, like, I'm really locked in. Like I'm reading, I'm walking, and this is not to humble brag. This is just like to tell you guys like how like good of a feeling it is. Like I'm taking cold showers. I just was listening to this thing that talks about this three rule morning routine, which I'm going to start tomorrow, which is basically, and I do these things anyways, but it's in a sequential order. It's waking up and instantly drinking caffeine, which I know they say you should wait until your body naturally wakes up, but this guy from 10x Health, I think he's like one of the higher ups. He basically said, wake up, drink caffeine, and then go for a 20-minute cardio session, like a light session. So for me, it'd be walking. He's like, you can swim, ride a bike, whatever, and then take a 2 to 5 minute cold exposure. So for me, it'll be like a shower. I don't have the ice bath yet, but one day. Um, but just doing those things in that order is going to help optimize your morning. And that's such a good feeling when you're just up and regardless of the time. Sometimes I'm late night working, but when you're just like in several different areas of your life, you're just locked in, like financially, your career, self improvement, like your faith, your exercising. You just feel like a completely different person. And we only have one life, so I mean, if you really want to have the excuses or the blames, I'm gonna be like calling you guys out, some of you guys, but it's truly to help, right? So I mean, if you're constantly going through life doing the things like, for example, you're eating foods that aren't healthy, don't you want to just experience what it's like to just like try to like eat properly to look and feel better and take care of your health. Like I feel like so many people are like, oh, it's so hard. Like they're always eating out, eating like what foods you shouldn't be eating. It's pretty simple, and you don't have to even be perfect. Just do a little bit better, and just like realize how good it feels. A lot of people I think are just, yeah, man, like I just can't lose weight, and it's like, bro, you're ordering food and drinking 5, 6 days a week, and you're not exercising, and you're barely even walking. Like, it's like, do you really think you can just like you have to try, bro? You guys have to actually put effort in. I think like some of you guys watching are grinding right now, putting in work. So respect, respect. But I'm sure there are a few people that this video just landed on their FYP and they're like, bro, you need to lock the heck in. I'm telling you guys, you need to lock the heck in because bro, summer is already here. So check me on Instagram at jstroudfit. If you guys want, you can click the link and book in a free strategy call. We'll walk through basically just like where you're currently at and what your biggest constraint or maybe challenges with getting to your ideal physique. So whether that's like putting on lean muscle mass, shredding some body fat, or a combo of both, if you guys click the link, we'll basically get a sense of where you're currently at, like what challenges might you be running into, and then if I feel like genuinely can help, we'll walk you through like how the 6 pillar framework inside the program will work for you and see if it's a good fit. So nonetheless, I appreciate you guys checking this video. Now, just one thing I'll wrap up on is, just lock in, bro, because you're gonna look back one day and wish you had tried harder. Because that's the one thing that can't be bought or gifted to you, just like pure effort and grit. I remember when I was, and I'm just using random references. I remember like being in high school, and then even after high school into college, just I would always be in the running, right? And so like those couple years I ran cross country in high school, like I would just run insane amounts, like 8 or 10 miles, which I know some of my guys, like my boy Matt Clark, if you're watching this video, he used to be inside the program. He does like insane amount of miles every week. Um, and he runs a bunch of marathons. But like for myself, I'm not a runner. I just used to play basketball and baseball a little bit. So like me when I lock in like running, I'll just like grind. And so essentially, I remember a couple of those years doing like 8 or 10 miles, like not like straight, like not obviously I would walk a little bit or slow down, uh, but like 8 or 10 miles, like just and then just coming back. That's pretty crazy. Um, I can walk 3 miles, but like running that, it's like running 3 or 4 miles every day puts quite a lot of exhaustion on my body. And so, for those of you guys that don't know, this one more thing I'll say is because a lot of people have this question, like, bro, what should I be doing for cardio? Should I be walking? Like, I'm running, but I'm not losing weight. Like all these questions, bro. So let me just get the point across, right? So when you're trying to put on muscle mass, your body needs to be in a low intensity state when doing cardio to make sure that you can recover from building on that muscle because that's going to put a lot of cardiovascular and just muscular adaptation, like a bunch of damage into your body, right? That it has to heal from, right, and recover from. And so if you're doing, running, not just is it going to be a little bit too much for most people, not for everybody. Some people can handle it if they've tolerated and trained up to that point. But like for you guys that are just like trying to get into better shape and look better for aesthetic reasons, like you just want to look at the beach good, have a 6 pack, bro. Maybe even not. Maybe just have a little bit of muscle definition. It's not that hard. You don't need to be this 360 to make all these changes. Like I'm just saying that it's a good feeling when you're aiming towards becoming the best version in all those areas. Like you're taking supplements, minerals, like vitamins, all this stuff. But for you guys, like it's really not that challenging. But so when you look at cardio, like if you're just walking, it's the easiest way to burn body fat because you're just burning. Like I was talking with Chat GPT, which I don't really talk with much, maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, and I went on a super long walk. It was like 3 or 4 miles, and it basically told me um, that I burned, and the math might be way off, so don't quote me on this number, but it was like 2,000 calories burned for that entire. I think I walked like 7 miles or something, and it was like 2,000 calories were burned from that, which is crazy. So at the end of the day, you just want to have more calories or less calories coming in or more going out, if that makes sense to like lose weight. So if you're gonna say a deficit of 500 calories, bro, and you eat 20, say like um, you eat, I don't know, like 2,500 calories, like you're gonna be good, but you're still gonna probably be in a deficit, and you just have to walk. Right. So with running, not just is it going to be higher heart rate variability, so like your heart rate's just going to be at a faster pace, and it depends on if you have carbs, if you have food in your system. But if you're doing a lot of long distance running, your body just has a higher likelihood of tapping into muscle stores for energy. Now, not always does it always? No, but if you don't have a lot of food in your system, and depending on like your pace, like you know it's just like one of those things where it's like it would be better if you just walked. It's easier anyways. Like I understand some of you guys want to probably like go hard, but just keep most of your cardio for fat loss at um at like a low pace. Like you could be on the stairmaster for 25 minutes 3 or 4 times a week, and you'll be diced to the freaking bone. Like every person, most of them are ladies actually. But even me and my couple friends back in the day, we used to do the stairmaster. I don't know what they're doing for cardio these days. I'm sure as hell not doing the stairmaster. I'll just do it outside. It's so much better. Sometimes I'll walk in the treadmill. But like everybody I know that does the stairs, you get literally diced to a bone. Like you will have abs. Like just do enough steps and like make a couple small tweaks to your nutrition. You can be eating 6 meals a day, and I understand like a lot of people don't want to do that. I don't even do that. But you could be eating 6 times a day and get fed constantly a bunch of quality food and be doing exercise and drinking enough water and drinking like, you know, 0 calorie drinks, and you'd be good, and you would look good too. But a lot of people just don't want to move strategically. We see with fitness and nutrition, it's not like this push, 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 like hard work. A lot of, yeah, yes, there's hard work for sure with like training, eating certain foods, but it's like I think fitness gets a bad rep because like from people like Ronnie Coleman, these top bodybuilders that like these people that they're just like would just eat like insane amounts of chicken, broccoli, rice, eggs. Like you don't have to eat insane like that, bro. You like even if you try to push it, like you're probably not, bro, gonna be going to the pros. I mean, maybe, bro. I don't know, but I mean, you don't have to do all the crazy stuff. Like you can still have somewhat of um a normal schedule. You can eat 3 or 4 meals a day. Just make changes to it. And I think fitness just gets a bad rep for that because people think like, oh, I don't want to have to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. It's like you don't have to like eat like fish or steak or like potatoes. Just like don't eat a ton of processed foods. And people like just don't seem to do the right things. Like they seem like they don't know what to do, but then they, let's be honest, we all do. Like all the content's posted. But if you want help with that, like I said, I'm not going to ramble. Just click the link, and I'll give you some steps because like I think it's so important for you guys to all lock in, regardless of who you are, where you're at, bro. Just lock the fuck in. If you're a lady, um, then like lock the heck in too, because you only get one life at the end of the day, and it's literally mid June right now, right? So or early June, whatever you want to call it. So think about the next couple months. You want to look and feel your best and have energy on point. So, bro, just lock in. I'll see you in the next video.